I'm not good with intros, so I didn't know what to say. So I just, hey. Today's video is going to be a spicy combo. So the premise of spicy combos is that I'm going to be eating spicy ramen noodles, okay? Because I really just love ramen noodles. Like, I really like them. Like, even though I know what I be eating, it isn't really authentic because it come out of a bag, you know? It's still just like, I like ramen noodles. I like the sodium, okay? I like MSG. While talking to you guys about just like stuff, you know? Like my favorite stuff that ain't my favorite stuff, you know, things like that, you know. So we are gathered here today to be eating spicy noodles, the Shin brand. And here's my noodles. Look at that, look at that, look at that. And since we are cultured and we're classy, I have went and got myself some silver chopsticks because, you know, we fancy like that.
Material world, and I get it from my mammy, Balmain, bust down, these hoes can't stand me.
So today's little convo, as you have seen by the title, is going to be books Hollywood should have left alone. Now, some of these books Hollywood may not have touched specifically. It could have just been, you know, straight to DVD, straight to ABC Family / freeform type of ordeal. But like, you get the point. It's a book that should have never became a movie. It should have just stayed in the pages where we could just use our imagination, because bringing it to life, it was a waste of time, it was a waste of money, and it was a disappointment, you know. Getting into it, I don't know how well I'm gonna do these videos because I don't think I can eat and talk at the same time. Like, I'm gonna forget, and these gonna get cold. They already look cold, honestly. A little hot too. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm struggling. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. These got a good little taste. These got a good little taste to them. Yeah. Alright. First movie, Blood and Chocolate. Okay. Blood and Chocolate. It was a book that I read back when I was like in like the 9th or 10th grade. And so if you've never read the book, I don't know how popular it is, but it's about a girl. She's a teen girl, I think. I'm not sure if she's a teen girl because we find out that she's part werewolf. So we don't know if she's like, you know, like centuries old or not. Like, you know how like these like those little YA stories are, you know, when somebody is like a hybrid, like half demon, half wolf, half vampire. They're kind of like old, but like young, sexy, and mysterious at the same time. I don't think that's fair, but you know how that be. So anyway, so it's about this teenage girl, and she was just living life as normal, and basically she was trying to go like unnoticed, and yeah, like, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't even remember like the plot of the book. Like, I remember enjoying the book, but I don't really remember the plot. So Blood and Chocolate, you want to go read it? Check it out for yourself. As of right now, all I know is a boy who's human falls in love with a girl who is half human, half, you know, werewolf. So the book was decent. My problem was the movie. So the movie was giving you real free form, you know, real straight to DVD type beat. Like I said, I don't remember much of the plot, but I do remember that the old girl was like the baddest thing in like the state. She was supposed to be the baddest thing in the neighborhood, the baddest thing in the high school ever. Sis just wasn't serving what I thought she was supposed to serve. She was not giving me ethereal goddess. I'm not trying to be rude. It's just that the girl wasn't unattractive, but let's just put it this way. If she would have went behind a trash can behind the City Trends building and turned into a werewolf, I wouldn't have noticed. I wouldn't have noticed that she ran off, disappeared to transition. I wouldn't notice. I walk past the trash can and be like, who's Husky?
Okay, let me just clarify so y'all won't think I'm being like really superficial here. What I mean is, sis just wasn't giving me sultry. She just wasn't luring me in to my ultimate doom, okay? Like, If they would have had somebody like a Megan Fox, which they could not have gotten for the straight to DVD, you can only rent it in your local library type movie. If they would have got like a Megan Fox, or I don't know her name, but like the girl who played Harley Quinn in the, you know, Suicide Squad movies, like, I don't know, somebody that can give you dangerous, like, you know, they smizing with their eyes, you know what I'm saying? They're luring you in with their eyes, you know, give me some of that, give me some of that. Girl was cute, but that was just it. Sis was just cute. Okay, it's Blood and Chocolate. The chocolate part is about the love, the desire. And sis just wasn't giving. She just wasn't giving. So yeah. All right.
Side note, listen. Now, I remember the book. I remember the book. The guy the mortal guy that she ends up kind of falling for, he takes her to like a barbecue at his family's house. And, you know, same old, he's the underdog. Don't nobody really notice him. He's the quote-unquote lame, the geek, the nerd. He ain't that cute or whatever the case may be. And he brings her to the cookout. And his dad is just like, oh, you know, good score, my boy, good score. But I remember the dad was talking about, like, how pretty she was. And he was just talking about how cute she was. But here's the thing. You're the father. You're an adult man. And although she may very well be hundreds of years old, he don't know that. He don't know that. And as the writer is writing, she's supposed to be passing off as a teenager who is still a child. So overall, I just felt like it was one of those movies that didn't catch the plot good. You know, it just didn't catch the book good. And a lot of the characters were giving me older than they were supposed to be. I didn't like that either. I can't stand when you watch something that's supposed to be about teenagers and everybody in the movie or a TV show is obviously 33. I don't like that. I don't like that, especially because I was a teenager at the time watching it. You don't think I not know what a teenager looks like from a teenager? I know what children look like. I know what teens look like, and that wasn't it. Y'all weren't it. They weren't it. Time to eat another little scoop of my noodles before I forget. These are gonna be cold. I don't think I'm gonna finish these, but the fact that I'm able to hold a good conversation just lets you know they're not that hot. Yeah, if I had to rate these, this would be like 4 out of 10 chili peppers. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. I'd eat these again. Water. Next movie. You all once loved it. We all now hate it. Twilight. Let me tell you something. I never was a real big fan of Twilight. First of all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't like the first book because it was just too thick. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't want to read all that. I was a lazy reader. I liked to read back then, but I didn't want to read that much. I didn't appreciate how the books were basically as thick as an encyclopedia. Listen, the complaints that I have about the movie, I think everybody has the same complaints. It's ugly to look at. The visuals are jarring, from the CGI to the monochromatic color scheme. Everything is gray. Everything is dull. Everything is stale. It's just depression on the screen. Also, the characters, much like Blood and Chocolate, in my opinion, just fall flat. Everybody's flat. Everybody's here. And not an ounce of this, just all of this, just flat line, just boring. Okay? Everybody's always like just brooding and mysterious. But really, it just comes off to me as I'm confused. I really don't know where to go with this character. This is my first time really acting on the big screen. Again, the female protagonist in Blood and Chocolate. You're telling me that this girl is supposed to be so irresistible. Like, she's attracting people from all over the supernatural realm. Like, she is attracting werewolves, vampires, everybody. I just felt like Bella was not interesting enough to have the boy sprung like that. She wasn't. She really wasn't. And my thing is, when you paint a character to be so irresistible, again, y'all might think I'm being superficial, but I'm not. In my defense, I'm not. When you paint a character to be so irresistible, I want to feel that. I want to see that when you bring the story to life. I want to see that, because you're killing the image that I created in my imagination when I was reading. You're killing the visual. You're really killing the visual for me, which a lot of times it messes up the whole story. I don't even really want to go back and read the book. If it's a bad movie that's based on a really good or okay book, because I don't really like Twilight, or a good to okay book, it just kills it. It really kills it. And now that I know Bella was boring, flat, and unlikable, Edward was the same, and Jacob was cute but just like, why are you always popping up? Like, what's your deal? Why are you obsessed? Why are you sprung? Why are you pressed? Like, why? It's just, everybody was getting on my nerves. Also, let me know if this was just me. Let me know if this was just me. I don't like the way the series to Twilight ended. I'm talking movie-wise. I don't know how it ended in the book because I only read the first book. I wasn't finna give all my time and my coins to the Twilight series. I wasn't. I read the first book and I said no. No ma'am. But what I did not like about how the movie series ended was it ended a little, inappropriate. I don't know how to say this without getting my channel flagged. I don't know. My channel at this moment ain't big enough to get flagged. Ain't nobody watching this right now. Ain't nobody saying that. But you know what? When I do grow, I don't want my channel to get flagged for this video. So I'm going to say this. I feel like the Twilight series ended in a very, it rhymes with edophilic manner, okay? Adult having inappropriate feelings towards a child, if you get my drift. Let me tell you why. Because when Jacob laid his canine eyes, okay, on Bella's little demon seed spawn of a child.
Whoa! Hey! Don't take it!
And he said he was imprinting on her. I don't listen. I don't care what imprinting was supposed to mean. It came off wrong and nasty. Let me tell you why. Because even though imprinting means that that he was going to be dedicating his existence to protecting that child, he which sounds sweet, sounds cute for what it is. The thing is, he was kind of the same way towards, Bella. He was the same way towards, her mama. And we know what came with that protection. It was a little sexual tension. It was a little attraction, okay? He was in love. We know what Jacob's obsession with Bella looked like. And it felt wrong when we found out that he was going to be dedicating his existence to basically doing the same thing for the daughter, because oh my god. Yeah, but yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like that. I don't like the imprinting part. They could have left that out. It was just weird. Okay, about to scoop up some noodles. About to scoop. I ain't getting no noodles. Okay, there we go. These actually taste even good, kind of cold, because they are cold. I am eating cold noodles right now. But the flavor is really good though. It's hot. It's leaving a little tinge in the back of my throat, but all right. Next book to movie that should have been left alone, completely alone, on the bookshelf in the library and somewhere on your mama's side table by the bed. 50 Shades of Grey. Y'all are gonna think I'm so superficial by the end of this video, but I'm not. I'm really not. Let me tell y'all something. Let me just go ahead and get this out of the way. I did not like 50 Shades of Grey because the two characters, okay, Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele, were underwhelming. I'll put it that way. Again, neither character is unattractive. I want y'all to understand that neither character is unattractive, but do they ooze enough sex appeal for me to really be engrossed in what they're trying to sell me? The plot is all about this desire, this burning desire, passion, and interest in these two people who are from different sides of the tracks with different personalities, and they just can't resist each other. And neither one of them was really helping me to understand why they found each other so irresistible. Because listen, let me tell you something. First of all, Anastasia, she was Bella 3.0. She was not as bad as Bella, but she wasn't like too many leagues ahead of Bella, at least in the first movie, okay? Much like Twilight, I was just like, what is this? With the first book and the first movie, did not continue on to the next few books. It did not continue on to the next few movies like that. Although I did watch all of the Twilight movies, I did not watch the rest of the 50 Shades movies. I did not watch 50 Shades Darker, 50 Shades Black and White, 50 Shades Your Mama, Your Daddy. I didn't watch none of it because I was just like, okay. But for me, at least, I felt like Anastasia in the first movie was just a very boring character. She was giving me, again, like, I don't know how to act like I'm shy but sultry at the same time. Like, I just didn't really know how to feel about her character, and so I wasn't a fan. I just really wasn't a fan. And then Christian, again, the man may be a good man in real life, maybe cool, okay? Maybe a cool man in real life. Not unattractive. However, was he selling me the type of sex appeal that would make me understand why Anastasia stayed with a man who is emotionally broken and borderline abusive? No. First of all, that is toxic, okay? Nobody should stay with a man just because they find him to be very, very sexually attractive or desirable. If he is, abusive and emotionally stunted, nobody should stay. First of all, I don't really like that concept. But since this movie already exists, it's already out here in reality, and we're just gonna comment on it anyway. The man who played Christian just wasn't selling it enough for me. He wasn't selling desire. He wasn't selling mysterious. He wasn't selling. I wasn't buying it. You could have put it on the clearance rack and I still wouldn't have bought it. I just wasn't interested enough. I just feel like there's other men in Hollywood that could have really gave us, like desire. Just, like, am I toxic? Yes. But do you find me fine? Also, yes. So you gonna stay. Because really, outside of his money, why would you stay? Like, I would stay because I'm broke. But outside of that, why would I stay? Like, why would I stay? Y'all could have chose Aquaman. Listen, that little BDSM contract that Anastasia and Christian had, let Mr. Aquaman be in there. I'm signing the contract before he even asked me, do I want to sign it? I ain't even going to read it. The Great Gatsby. I just didn't understand it. Like, that period. Like, I just didn't understand it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't understand what was going on. I understand what was going on in the book, and I didn't understand what was going on in the movie, and that's why I really hate the movie, okay? Matter of fact, this list is not in any particular order, but just know that The Great Gatsby is, like, high. It's, like, number one. For the simple fact that I had problems visualizing it. Okay, I was like, the plot's not stringing, okay? It's not making sense. It's not connecting. It's not connecting as I read, okay? And I'm a very imaginative person, okay? I used to love to read. I didn't want to read encyclopedias. Harry Potter and Twilight was out. It was out the game. But everything else, I like to read. And my reading comprehension skills were on point back then. I don't really know what happened between high school, college, and now, because I swear when I bought my first $200 textbook, all my brain cells died, and they have not risen from the dead since. Like, when my teacher, because I read it in school, because why would I read The Great Gatsby on my own? Like, I didn't know it existed outside of school. But when my teacher had us to read it, I was like, what's going on? Listen, I did not like the fact that I could not understand what was going on in the book. So when my teacher was just like, y'all, we gonna watch the movie when we get done reading the book, I was like, yeah, okay. And then my husband, he don't really know we married, but I'm working on it. Leonardo DiCaprio, he was in the movie, and I was just like, okay, this is gonna be a good time, plus no work. Who don't like watching movies at the schoolhouse, okay? Listen, when I tell you, after I watched the movie, I was so frustrated because I said, what? Like, I don't really know what happened. I don't know. Like, why did they change cars at the end? For what? Like, can somebody explain it to me? Like, for real, like, I'm not even joking. Can somebody explain it to me? Like, what was the point of The Great Gatsby? All I got was Leonardo DiCaprio was rich. He wanted him some Daisy. I think that was the girl's name. And he spent the whole movie trying to get at Daisy. And my thing is, who cares? Like, who decided this was supposed to be a story that needed to be told? Who decided to write it down? And who decided it was an American classic? For what? For why? Why, America? Why?
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 I don't understand. Out of all the good books out there, that's an American classic, The Great Gatsby. I'm gonna go back and reread it because maybe I'm going off because I'm slow. Maybe I'm delayed. You know, maybe I just didn't pick up on something. But to me, the movie was just a waste of time. The book was also a waste of time. The only good thing about the movie is the soundtrack. The soundtrack was bomb. Okay, beast. I had almost every song on my little iPod Touch. I really did. Okay, Back in Black by Beyonce and Andre. I know it belonged to the, the late great, rest in peace, Amy Winehouse. I love that. I love that version. Had to give respects to her. But the revised version by Beyonce and Andre, I said, not three stacks, acting up like this. Lana Del Rey did her thing on the soundtrack. Florence and the Machine did they thing on the soundtrack. I don't know who is Florence and who's the Machine, but all I know is they sound good. It's too cold now. Now it's gross, but this is how much I got left though. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. So this next book to movie adaptation is another book that y'all may or may not have heard of. So this next book series was called Click. Okay, let me know in the comment section if you remember the book series Click. The design of the books were cute. I love the book. I love the series. It was, I don't know, I just liked it. I thought it was adorable. I don't hear a lot of people talk about these books, so just a little backstory on Click. So Click series is basically about this girl who's, I don't want to say poor, because we don't really know if she's poor, or just regular middle class. Either way, her parents end up moving out to, is it LA? Y'all, it's been such a long time since I read the Click series. I think I was in middle school, up until ninth grade when I stopped reading the Click series, so I can't remember. It's a rich city, wherever it is. It's a rich city. So they move out to this place where, basically everybody's wealthy. And I forgot what parent is the reason why they moved out there to this city, but they do something. I think they cook, they cater, they do something, child, for this rich family. So with that being said, she moves out there and she ends up having to live right alongside this rich girl, in their home. And so the Click series is basically about this girl who is poor in comparison to everybody else that she's forced to be around. She's forced to basically run in the same circles as people who are much wealthier than her, much more privileged than her. She even ends up going to the same private school as the rich girl that she's living with. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's off of scholarship. I think the rich girl's parents helped the poor girl into the school, but I also think she's there off of scholarship too. They end up going to the same parties, everything. And it's just always a situation because the girl is just basically struggling to fit in with the upper class without having all the tools and the resources to be there in the first place. However, the movie...
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
The movie belongs in the everlasting pits of hell. The movie is evil. It is demonic. I'm speechless. I feel still mad that I watched that movie, and I haven't watched that movie since I was in middle school. And I'm always scared when people want to make one movie off of a book that is that has 10 to 15 books in the series, because I'm just oh my gosh, what are they gonna do? Because for some reason when movies do that, they just end up making up their own plot just about. When you have a book series, you need to either be like Twilight and make multiple books, or you need to be like Pretty Little Liars and make it into a TV series, because the book is a series. Use your noggin. Use your noggin, directors. Use your brain. That's the end of my list of books that I really feel should have just remained books. They shouldn't have been turned into movies. Let me know if you have any book to movie adaptations that you feel were better left on the shelves behind a paperback cover and not on your TV screen. But like, click and share and comment, all the other stuff that YouTube people beg you to do, basically. And I will see y'all in the next video.